What if I told you that one of the deadliest famines in history wasn't caused by drought, but by policy? In 1943, Bengal wasn't starving because there was no food. In fact, the rice harvest that year was higher than in 1941. So why did nearly 3 million people die? Let's rewind. It starts with Japan invading Burma in 1942. That cut off 15% of India's rice imports. Add to that a massive cyclone that wiped out crops and homes in Bengal. Already bad, right? But what happened next? That's where the real tragedy begins. The British colonial government, fearing a Japanese invasion, launched something called the denial policy. Sounds boring? It wasn't. It meant they destroyed boats and rice stockpiles in Bengal. On purpose. Over 66,000 boats were confiscated. That's how rice used to move from villages with plenty to ones in need. Without boats, no food could move. And rice stores? Burned or taken. The system collapsed. Meanwhile, as people were starving, British ships were still exporting rice from India. 70,000 tons in the first half of 1943 alone. Enough to feed nearly 400,000 people for a year. Winston Churchill refused to send food ships to Bengal. Why? He said there weren't enough ships, while ships carrying Australian wheat sailed past India to stock up in Europe. And prices? Out of control. Rice doubled in price in just 8 months. The poor couldn't afford it. Economist Amartya Sen later called it an entitlement failure. There was food, but not for the poor. Then came the heartbreak. Families selling children for rice, women leaving homes to follow strangers just for a meal, people eating grass, disease finishing what hunger began, and all of it hidden. The British censored newspapers, fearing the truth would weaken Indian soldiers' morale. Only when brave journalists published haunting photos did the world find out. By the time help arrived, it was too late. Millions were dead. And to this day, it remains one of the darkest, least discussed chapters of colonial history. Still think famines are just about food? If this opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and dive into our other deep dives into forgotten history.